What's up, guys? It is Thursday, September 28th. It's 8:10 a.m. and this is the crypto newsletter. We got the B.I.S has been on fire the past couple days, but today, breaking news, 3:06 a.m. is B.I.S Innovation Hub. And then you got the Swiss National Bank, Bank de France, and the Monetary Authority of Singapore conclude successfully Project Mariana, enabling new approaches to cross-border trading and settlement of wholesale CBDC between financial institutions using DeFi technology concepts. Read here. And as you can even see, uniform technical wholesale CBDC standard, 3 currency automated market maker, then a bridge. You got the euro in here, you got the Singapore dollar, and then you got the Swiss franc. So let's go into this. But I want to keep in mind that this was built on Ethereum, right? But it's always going to be built on Ethereum first off the gate. It's the prototype. They even said in this final report, I went through it, that they're not specifically supporting any specific protocol and that it was just for testing. But this has something to do with it, with David Schwartz saying that the strategy will drive demand for XRP, the reserve currency of the network of XRPL protocol chain. Staked XRP and automated market maker pools earns yield from swap fees and additional revenue from continuous auction mechanism. Increased storage demand drives up XRP price. So we're going to listen to this, and then we're going to dive into the Project Mariana and what kind of concluded here, because we all know XRP was designed for wholesale CBDC and interbank and intrabank payments and settlements, and XRP being used for on-demand liquidity for cross-border trading and settlement. So this if it smells like a duck, it's probably a duck, right? But then they try to play it off like it's Ethereum, which they did do it on Ethereum, but ultimately we all know the end goal here. But let's listen to this real quick.
What can we expect next from Ripple? What are you most excited about? What are the biggest innovations that we can look forward to at Ripple and with the XRP ledger?
Well, the one that I'm personally most excited about, but this may have to do with quirks of my personality, is the automated market maker proposal. I'm just personally really excited about that. I've been trading Forex and other types of market making for 30 plus years. And just the way the automated market maker works. So I'll give the short version of why it's interesting to me is in almost every other arena, volatility is a minus. An automated market maker turns volatility into yield. Which is super, and I could go on an hour about the math, but volatility is inefficiency, and inefficiency can always be solved at a cost. You can always make a profit by reducing some inefficiency, unless there are and normally you can't because there are market obstacles. So, for example, trading stocks is expensive and slow and all of that. But the transaction fee on the XRP ledger is a tiny, tiny fraction of a penny. The transaction completion time is 10 seconds or less. So like the mechanics, the efficiency is so high, it's going to be very interesting to me to see, what that does as far, how that performs. Super exciting for me personally. I don't know that other people are as excited about it as I am. I hope they are, because I think it's cool. And we've done some unique things in the way we implemented it, ways that I think will improve essentially the yield. It's effectively a way to lend money to an automated machine that makes money through implementing trading strategies and through making markets. So we'll see if that delivers on my excitement.
With other approaches, try to eliminate the problem of this volatility or asymmetric trading. Instead, we try to think that how we can optimize this problem for all participants. So we take a different approach. We create a mechanism that makes it easier for the arbitrageurs and also reduces the impact of impermanent loss for the liquidity providers. So the continuous auction mechanism, the AMM can sell off trading advantages for 24-hour periods at near zero trading fee. And the proceeds from this auction are divided between the previous slot holder and the AMM pool. So the expectation is that as the slot holder will have significant advantages for arbitrage, they will bid up the price of the auction slot to nearly the value that they expect to extract through this arbitrage. And as a result, we eliminate wait time and race condition for auction slot holder, because now they do not have to wait now the arbitrageurs don't have to wait. Second, it reduces the impact of impermanent loss because there is this reduced window, there is no wait window. And additionally, liquidity providers reap a share of profits that would otherwise go to the arbitrageurs.
All right, so now that we heard that, I'm not expecting anybody to understand it to a T. But now that you've seen some of the verbiage and what they're launching with this automated market maker on the XRPL, the grammar, the verbiage used, and the mechanism, the liquidity providers, and everything like that. Now let's dive into Project Mariana. And basically, B.I.S. and central banks of France, Singapore, and Switzerland successfully test cross-border wholesale CBDCs. Project Mariana tested the cross-border trading and settlement of wholesale CBDCs, successful trading and settlement of hypothetical euros, Singapore dollars, and Swiss francs. DeFi elements tested in the project, specifically automated market makers, AMM, could form the basis for a new generation of financial market infrastructure. A new generation. Like I said, once in a 100-year opportunity, we're living in it. Just like the ECB towards the holy grail of cross-border payments document back in August of last year, saying this is what's happening right now that could be achieved within this decade, we're basically halfway through, is thousands of year problem ever since international commerce and business became a thing cross-border. Truly nuts. We're living in it and we're on it. So the Bank for International Settlements and the central banks of France, Singapore, Switzerland have successfully concluded Project Mariana. The project tested the cross-border trading and settlement of wholesale CBDCs between financial institutions using new technology concepts on a public blockchain. Project Mariana was developed jointly by 3 B.I.S. innovation hub centers together with the Bank of France, Monetary Authority Singapore, Swiss National Bank. The project's proof of concept successfully tested the cross-border trading and settlement of hypothetical euro, Singapore dollar, and Swiss francs wholesale CBDC between simulated financial institutions. The process relied on 3 elements. 1, common technical token standard provided by a public blockchain to facilitate the exchange, value exchange, and interoperability between the different currencies. Bridges, like a bridge currency for the seamless transfer of wholesale CBDCs between the different networks, and an automated market maker, which is a specific type of decentralized exchange to trade and settle spot foreign exchange transactions automatically, just like our trading bots, right? So for Project Mariana, the AMM pooled the liquidity of the hypothetical euro, Singapore dollar, and Swiss francs wholesale CBDCs with innovative algorithms enabling spot foreign exchange transactions to be priced and executed automatically and settled immediately. These protocols could be used by the next generation of financial market infrastructures facilitating cross-border trading and settlement between financial institutions. Project Mariana's architecture balances central banks' domestic need for oversight and autonomy with financial institutions' interests in efficiently holding, transferring, and settling wholesale CBDCs across borders. This is achieved through the use of a common token standard on a public blockchain, which facilitates interoperability and seamless exchange of wholesale CBDCs across varied local payment and settlement systems maintained by participant central banks. As such, Mariana offers possible approaches to factoring an international dimension into current wholesale CBDC design explorations. Guys, they're working towards this is like the lead up to the Holy Grail as we speak. You know, like first, all these countries need to update their payment system, be instant payment systems. Then they need a common standard like the ISO 222. Then they need to launch their wholesale CBDCs domestically with interoperability in mind in the design. And then they can now have the Holy Grail, which is that common bridge, liquid, neutral digital asset in a liquidity pool. You know, with the AMM, obviously it would be autonomous, that can facilitate the value transfer of every asset in the world when everything's all said and tokenized within this decade. Truly game changer. We're talking about money here. The biggest opportunity of all time. Once it's done, it's done. So this is achieved through the use. Okay, so we did that. We go down. As tokenization and DeFi technologies are still nascent, further research and experimentation is needed. The B.I.S. Innovation Hub and its global partners will continue exploring their benefits and challenges based on relevant use cases. Project Mariana pioneers the use of novel technology for interbank foreign exchange markets. It successfully demonstrated that it is feasible to exchange wholesale CBDC across borders using novel concepts such as automated market makers. Bringing together a diverse team of software engineers, policy, and FX experts across 3 innovation hub centers and central banks was key to this success. Project Mariana is purely experimental does not indicate that any of the partner central banks intend to issue wholesale CBDC or endorse DeFi or a particular technological solution. It is the Innovation Hub's first cross-center project. So let's listen to this 3-minute and 21-second video here.
A tokenized financial system may be on the horizon with the potential to change markets. Today, the largest financial market in the world is the foreign exchange market, trading $7.5 trillion a day. How might we trade and settle FX in a tokenized world? Project Mariana ventures a look. It explores how wholesale central bank digital currencies, together with concepts borrowed from emerging decentralized finance, may improve effectiveness, safety, and transparency of FX trading and settlement. Mariana is a joint project between the B.I.S. Innovation Hub, the Bank of France, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the Swiss National Bank. How does it work? A transnational blockchain-based network is at the heart of the experiment. It serves as an interbank foreign exchange market for hypothetical euro, Singapore dollar, and Swiss franc wholesale CBDCs. So-called automated market makers, decentralized exchanges popular in today's DeFi markets, enable FX trading and settlement for financial institutions. Wholesale CBDCs originate from the domestic platforms. They can be transferred between the domestic platforms and the transnational network using bridges. A uniform technical standard for the wholesale CBDCs on the transnational network enables interoperability and the implementation of wholesale CBDC management features. Mariana has reached 3 main conclusions. First, the project showed that it's possible to balance the need of central banks to manage wholesale CBDC issuance and access with the ability for financial intermediaries to hold, trade, and settle using wholesale CBDC. The transnational network hosts an FX interbank market where no intermediaries are required to trade. Second, wholesale CBDCs combined with an automated exchange mechanism collapses trading and settlement into one step, navigating towards improved settlement efficiency and lower global settlement risks. Finally, Mariana's infrastructure could enhance transparency significantly. Guided by the FX Global Code, a global set of principles for robust, fair, and transparent markets, Mariana shows that it's possible to seamlessly integrate an interoperable FX interbank market into a cross-border financial market infrastructure and enable trading against the AMM with a 3-token pool, whilst improving efficiency and reducing risks.
So, right there, that video, man, like it really gives that visual. And it's everything that, we've been watching and kind of observing for years now with what Ripple's doing with the wholesale CBDC and everything. So now I'm on the actual PDF. It talks about, it dives into it deep. And let's just go to the introduction here. So foreign exchange is the largest financial market in the world, trading about $7.5 trillion a day. It operates 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. In this market, commercial banks, central banks, brokers, asset managers, corporates, and retail investors trade currencies using a range of instruments, including spot, outright forwards, swaps, and options. Foreign exchange trading generally relies on either direct, bilateral, or indirect brokered relations with dealers. When relations with dealers are brokered, limit order books are typically used to maintain digital logs of existing orders to match buyers and sellers. Settlement usually occurs with delays of up to 2 days, and settlement risk remains an issue. Project Mariana looks to the future and envisions a world in which central banks have issued tokenized forms of central bank money that are available to commercial banks and other financial institutions, so-called wholesale CBDCs. It investigates how wholesale CBDCs originating from different jurisdictions can be traded and settled safely and efficiently. Mainly, Mariana borrows ideas and concepts from DeFi, where crypto assets are traded and settled immediately via so-called automated market makers. AMMs are smart contracts that allow traders to exchange one crypto asset or tokenized asset more generally for another by drawing on a common pool of liquidity. Prices are determined by a pre-specified algorithm. The pre-specified algorithm, like we're watching that continuous auction mechanism, same thing. So this project examines if this new approach can simplify existing interbank foreign exchange processes. It also explores whether this approach can contribute to enhancing cross-border payments or improve transparency and reduce settlement risk. To this end, it tests three main components, in particular a common technical standard for interoperability between wholesale CBDCs, so-called bridges for wholesale CBDC transfers between different networks, and an AMM for the foreign exchange trading and settlement. Mariana extends previous work looking at the feasibility of cross-border and foreign exchange transactions using wholesale CBDC arrangements and DLT platforms. It is a joint proof of concept between the B.I.S. Innovation Hub, Bank of France, Monetary Authority of Singapore, Swiss National Bank. The project is purely experimental. So there we go. And then if we just go all the way down to the conclusion, Project Mariana looks into the future, envisioning a spot foreign exchange market building on the promises of tokenization. It pioneers the use of AMMs for the cross-border exchange of wholesale CBDCs, demonstrating technical feasibility while fulfilling central bank requirements and broader principles set by the FXGC. In particular, in the tested experimental setup, central banks are able to manage their wholesale CBDCs without necessarily operating or controlling the underlying infrastructure. Commercial banks can use the wholesale CBDCs to engage in instant foreign exchange trading and settlement, avoiding credit and settlement risk and improving efficiency. The project built on central bank autonomy within domestic platforms while extending the use of wholesale CBDCs through interoperability and technical standardization. It offers perspectives on ways to leverage open, transparent, and composable technology and future-proof various domestic and regional wholesale CBDC arrangements under development. As a result, it introduces novel approaches in factoring the international dimension into a wholesale CBDC ecosystem design, contributing to the work of the G20 roadmap to enhance cross-border payments. Future work could deepen and broaden Project Mariana in three dimensions. First, the commercial viability of AMMs for spot foreign exchange transactions using wholesale CBDCs may be explored. This would require collaboration with relevant stakeholders in existing foreign exchange markets. Several aspects could be investigated, including the profitability of liquidity provision while keeping transaction costs competitive with existing financial foreign exchange markets, mechanisms to alleviate the cost of pre-funding, introducing short-term credit, the economic use of liquidity pool tokens, and payments in repos and swaps, options to endow liquidity providers with voting rights on the fee structure for liquidity taking trades, and the needs and opportunities for privacy-preserving technologies. Moreover, should AMMs move closer to implementation for traditional financial markets, appropriate governance mechanisms should be explored. Second, building on the openness and composability of DeFi and smart contracts, Mariana offers the potential to broaden experimentation, exploring monetary policy implementation in a tokenized financial system. While out of the scope for Project Mariana, questions related to the remuneration of wholesale CBDCs could be one relevant aspect. More generally, tokenization may open up the potential to adapt or improve existing monetary policy instruments, potentially leveraging ideas and concepts from DeFi. Third, future work may consider the role of wholesale CBDCs and central banks in a broader tokenized financial system, exploring elements of the blueprint for the future monetary system outlined in the B.I.S. Annual Economic Report, which is the unified ledger. This may cover a wide range of questions, including the design of the underlying programmable platforms, the role of tokenized deposits and stablecoins, and the tokenization of financial instruments, as well as legal and regulatory aspects. Mariana provides a starting point for future considerations, an example in relation to the implementation of central bank requirements on programmable platforms, standardization of money tokens, the role of interoperability mechanisms, and the design of market arrangements in a tokenized world. Clearly, further experimentation to understand the benefits and challenges of tokenization is required, guided by the needs of central banks, financial market participants, and end users. Collaboration among stakeholders will be key, and the B.I.S. Innovation Hub will continue to strive to break new ground on this journey together with its pioneering partners around the globe. Bang, right there. It's a phased process, but we're getting closer and closer every day. So let's go to the next thing. So today, Fed Chair Powell is going to be speaking to educators. It's going to be webcast live, and he's going to take questions from the audience. So, whenever he talks, expect volatility. And then shout out to my man Santana, because how Ibiza's most prominent nightclubs are jumping on the crypto trend. 2024, we're headed to Ibiza. Shout out to Santana on that. Stargate gang is going to head out there for the nightlife. Let's go to the next thing. So this was 13 hours ago. We had to cover it, but I'm not going to say the name. Shaping the Future, Blank Protocol's exciting brand transformation. In the world of blockchain, things change quickly. At Blank Protocol, we believe in our community's power to shape our future. After talking with our community in the forum, receiving a lot of positive feedback, we're excited to tell you about an important step we're taking, a DAO vote to give our brand a makeover. Our community is at the heart of everything we do. This proposal shows that we're committed to let the community make big decisions. I mean, man, like, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to say it. How many times are you going to do a brand makeover, man? Like, we're going to move on. So, the next thing, alarm bells for crypto. Leak reveals Joe Biden could be about to issue a game-changing executive order and trigger Bitcoin price chaos. This was yesterday. So we got Bitcoin and crypto have been hit by severe uncertainty this year, with the U.S. crypto crackdown followed by the Federal Reserve creating a Bitcoin price nightmare. The Bitcoin price is languishing under 30K per Bitcoin, in part due to the fear the U.S. is waging a secret war against crypto. Now a leak has revealed U.S. President Joe Biden could be about to issue an executive order on artificial intelligence that could have a serious spillover to Bitcoin and crypto, setting alarm bells ringing. The upcoming White House executive order on AI raises some alarm bells for crypto. The report claims companies like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon would be forced to disclose when a customer purchasing computer resources beyond a certain threshold. Gree points to a part of the report that refers to computing power as a national resource, and that mining Bitcoin, developing video games, and running AI models like ChatGPT all require large amounts of compute. The Bitcoin network, which requires so-called miners to validate transactions in return for freshly created Bitcoin using high-power computers, is thought to use more electricity annually than some small countries. Following China's 2021 Bitcoin mining ban, the U.S. has become home to more Bitcoin miners than any other country. Then there's some updates in here as well, too. Currently, the White House views tech jobs and dev talent and energy as scarce national resources and therefore zero-sum, particularly with respect to crypto, speculating that Bitcoin mining could be considered robbing families of power, and working in crypto would take development talent away from real applications. If we start viewing compute capacity in a similar way and reporting on who is using how much of it, expect similar political and media pressure to be targeted at cloud service providers that service large crypto industry players, calling it Operation Choke Point, but for computing power. So the traditional financial service sector pullback from the crypto market this year has been branded Operation Choke Point 2.0 by some in the crypto industry who fear it's been directed by the U.S. government and regulators. The original 2013 operational choke point was a U.S. Department of Justice initiative to discourage banks from working with firearm dealers, payday lenders, and other companies believed to be at high risk for fraud and money laundering. There we go. Then you got digital assets, building the markets of the future. This is from the OMFIF, and this is today actually. So this is a webinar sponsor Stellar as well too. And this is, one of those international organizations. They're going to be talking about some key things and key questions explored in the report. Who will own the plumbing for the digital asset ecosystem, because that's what's happening, a rewiring of the plumbing of the financial system. Who will shape the rules and policies that govern it? How will digital asset technology change the world of traditional finance? Which asset classes will transition to digital first? Which infrastructure providers have distinguished themselves as high quality, robust, and stable components of a healthy marketplace? And how will regulators seek to reshape the cryptocurrency market in the aftermath of the crypto winter? So this is going to be very interesting. And I'm going to make sure I get that report for sure. So I'll keep people updated if I find anything in that when it comes out. Then we got Hong Kong aims for stablecoin regulatory clarity by 2024, looking for a goal to solidify the framework by 2024's end. I really think there's 100 days left. We got Stellar and MoneyGram with that non-custodial wallet launching Q1 of 2024. We got the spot Bitcoin ETF with an approval that has to happen by January of 2024. That's the latest deadline. Then you got the Bitcoin halving coming up April of 2024. Really, think about it, things could kick up imminently, but really max 100 days. And then you usually got a change of the market structure around December, January of each year. If you look at prior cycles of Bitcoin. So, now's the time to strike. Now's the time to strike. Get in the Discord, link is in the bio. SEC postpones verdict on ARK 21 shares in Global X spot Bitcoin ETFs, and it has marked January 10, 2024 as the decisive day to either greenlight or reject the proposed amendment. And, they're saying that, you can't just approve some and not approve others, and that would be a rapid approval of all the kind of submissions of the ETF. Like I said, January, it's not too far off. Then we got Tangible integrates Chainlink proof of reserve to help secure real estate backed stablecoin. So this is the first time I heard of Tangible, but if there's a token tied to it, I'm down for it, because real world asset tokenization is going to be big, huge, and it's going to help bring trillions of dollars of value into the blockchain ecosystem. And Tangible's real estate backed stablecoin, we can provide enhanced transparency. But Tangible is a leader in the tokenized real world asset category, one of the largest and fastest growing protocols in this field. So I'm going to be looking into Tangible. Let's see if they're on CoinMarketCap or if it's just not like a token. It's Tangible. There's a token. This looks like it came out late 2022, but I don't know. This price action looks kind of funky. Let's see if this is actually what it is. Real USD, choose a better money. This is it. We might have found another undercover gem here. Okay, I'm gonna deep dive. I'm gonna do a private deep dive on this for sure for the Stargate VIPs in the Discord. If you're not in VIP yet, now's the time to join. Calm before the storm, baby. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on from that. So I'll save that. But then JP Morgan CEO warns of the Fed raising interest rates to 7% with stagflation. That's the worst case scenario. And that's when that wouldn't be a soft landing, that's for sure. He's hoping and praying that it would be a soft landing. If that were to happen, it wouldn't be a soft landing. And that's when an ICE 9 scenario happens. If you don't know about ICE 9, I'll grab the video that I did a year ago at this point about it, because you got to know about it. That's the final nail in the coffin. Then you have digital asset exchange SDX signs sixth bank to list tokenized foreign bonds. So SDX holds Swiss licenses as a digital asset exchange and DLT-based CSD. Additionally, from Friday, will allow bonds listed on foreign trading platforms of the main six exchange to be tokenized and traded on SDX. Everything's about to be tokenized. Then we got the next thing here, which is Store Eldorado, Ripple's deputy legal counsel. Great to get back to my legal roots, Rutgers Law, to discuss regulation, crypto, and SEC versus Ripple. Spoiler alert, justice prevails and the good guys win in the end. Maybe a little hint of what's to come here. And Mr. Man kills it, man. Give that man a follow. Give Mr. Man a follow. And Mr. Man, you're watching this, what up, son? So a statement by RTGS Global CTO said, we use a coin/token and could even be XRP. And RTGS Global, they're a part of the Digital Pound Foundation, I believe, or the Digital Euro Association. And I think Marcus Treacher, who worked at Ripple, is now leading RTGS.Global as well, too. Red Compass Labs states that RTGS Global is powered by Microsoft Azure. Here's the kicker. Microsoft Azure is powered by Ripple. The video below is a former, here he is. Ripple exec Marcus Treacher talking about RTGS Global. So, yep. RTGS.Global uses a coin/token, could even be XRP. It's crazy. Right there in the open. A global near real-time payment network that will also lock the liquidity required to settle the transaction, all powered by Microsoft Azure. And then you have built on Ripple, the Microsoft director says they have various users testing out the application, saying we have several customers taking advantage of the blockchain as a service platform and active pipeline of partners getting onboarded. And that believes the platform Azure is providing tremendous value to its customer base who are innovating with these new technologies. There we go. That's massive. So Marcus Treacher speaking with the OMFIF, which I showed you that they're having an event or like a webinar today regarding the liquidity issues that the globe is experiencing. Marcus Treacher used to work with Ripple and has since founded RTGS Global. There we go. So then we got the next thing. Hedera. Real world asset tokenization is an increasingly core aspect of the value Web3 brings to the emerging digital economy, and Toko Network stands among those at the forefront of this revolution. So we got another undercover gem that I got to look into. Joined Hyperledger earlier this month for an open webinar diving into Toko's work in the space, unleashing the potential of tokenized assets via public/private architecture. We got two real world asset protocols we got to look into. Then we got the next thing here, which is update. Hearing the SEC wants to accelerate the launch of Ether futures ETFs because they want it off their plate before the shutdown. So they've asked the filers to update their docs by Friday. No small task to jam in 48 hours, especially for individual issuers. So they can go F Monday and trade Tuesday. But yeah, October, Ethereum futures. So that, you know, that's another kind of narrative that can really spark some life into the crypto market here because it's been so boring. But yeah, so that's the crypto news for today, guys. A lot of stuff's going on. Join the Discord, link is in the bio. Come chat it up. But I'll be tied up all today from noon to 8 p.m. I'll be doing a lot of one-on-ones today, but I'll be checking in when I get periods of time in between. So I'll see you guys over there. I hope you guys have a good day. It is 8:47 a.m. Thursday, September 28th. I'll see you guys in the Discord and in the next video.